All right, yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Tobias, Shaq. All right, we're just talking the last podcast. We talked the last bit was on Declan Rice. Declan Rice linked with everyone, all the top teams, well, apart from Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Arsenal. If you was Declan Rice, Tobias, who would you go to? Who would you sign for? Take your Man United hat just if you're Declan Rice, you got four or five clubs all want to sign you, all in the Premier League, or Bayern Munich were they were on it a little bit, but they've pulled out. But all the four or five Premier League clubs.
For the money that they're screaming, he's only going to an English club, isn't he? Yeah, unless the Middle East comes calling. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening for them. I don't think the profile's big enough. But you know what? Yeah, for him as well, he's going to be sought after because he's probably going to be the only one left by the time these are finished.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Don't see him going Newcastle. They've just brought Tonali, haven't they?
Yeah, that's a good signing. Good player.
Great signing.
Great player.
Great. I'm not sure the money, but I don't think it's crazy money either.
Newcastle's scouting system is decent, to be fair. You know, they buy gems. They're not going for the big massive names. They slide gems.
Because I was looking at Barella and Tonali, so I can't see him going there. And both of them players I like. This is what I mean. Both of them players I like. Fair play, Eddie, or whoever's signing them up in Newcastle. But if they've got that, they've got that. But back to Declan. If he wants to win trophies immediately, but not play, it's a balancing act for him. And what's his ceiling? What does he believe his ceiling is? If he believes that he can be the difference to a team, then he hedges his bets and either goes Man United or Arsenal. If he believes that he can potentially displace Rodri, play with Rodri, but highly doubtful, or will he be on another Calvin Phillips? It's all about this self-belief. Can he, to be the best? Everyone says don't go Man City because you're competing with Rodri. But if you believe that you're better than Rodri and you can displace him, then why not? And you believe that you're going to be the best, then yeah. But if he wants to win trophies immediately, you go Man City, don't you?
No, I hear you.
I don't think he's going to be the difference in wherever he goes right now, that he's going to make another team significantly better for them to win the league. I don't see that happening. If you look at Arsenal, they've lost Partey and Xhaka, replacing him with Rice and Caicedo seems to be going to Chelsea. Then I don't see that being an option. I don't see him going in there and making them any better than they was last year because of the players they've lost. If he adds to what they already had, then maybe it makes a big difference. Chelsea, I don't see him going back to Chelsea. He was there as a youngster. He's best friends with Mount leaving, so they're not going to be able to have a reunion. So I don't see that happening. Man United, I don't see us paying the money right now. Until whatever happens, then I can't see us putting out the outlay. So if I break it down like that, it goes to either Arsenal or Man City. And it's more being London-based, not much change for him. I see him going Arsenal.
I agree 100%. Same thing. I think if you want to win trophies, saying that, I've got a theory with Man City. I think they've won the treble. How long can this team go on for in a sense of just being hungry? I know they got the manager. The manager's different, a bit like Ferguson. When people said they won the treble, would they still win? And they did. And they might still win. But I think Gundogan leaving, I think that's a massive hole. I don't care who they buy. I know Kovacic is a smart signing. That's a quality signing. But with Gundogan leaving, I think that's a massive hole. Especially if Bernardo Silva leaves as well. Plus the rest of them won the treble. Maybe their eyes off the ball, the eye of the tiger's not there because they've done it all. That's what could happen. So if I'm Declan Rice, I think if he goes to Man City, yes, they win the league or they win trophies, but he's just going to be another player winning trophies, if you know what I mean. If he goes to Arsenal now and makes Arsenal, Lady won the league last year and they came runners up, and he's the guy that catapults them onto the next level and wins the league, I think he can go down as a great at Arsenal. He could go down as a great because I think Arsenal being close last year, him going to Arsenal, and it could be his team. If I look at Arsenal, it's crying out for a leader. So he could actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it could turn into Declan Rice's team. And I think if he could win the league with Arsenal, I think it'd be a much bigger thing. Same thing like when Van Dijk and Alisson came. We were second. They come, catapult, win the league, win the Champions League. And I think if Declan Rice can go to Arsenal where they came runners up and he catapults them into a winner, into the league winners. And it's a possibility they can do it because I've got a feeling about Man City. They're not going to win. I can't see them winning 4 league titles in a row.
No,
so
but do me a
it's
favor.
there.
But do me a favor though. I want to hear the last time. This is the last time I want to hear that example from Liverpool, man, about this Alisson Van Dijk winning you at the league. That's just one thing. Yeah, we get to that.
That's what happened, bro. That's what
No.
happened. So what you about?
No, but any example you lot will draw for that one as an example. We could probably go to different examples. Let's try another one. I'm sick of hearing that one.
You should
But we'll go to another one. But if we go to Rice last year, it's hating. But if we go to Rice last year, if Arsenal had Rice last year, did they win the league?
Where they were?
Yeah.
Yes.
If they had him, not where they were, if they had him last year, did they win the league?
Yes. I'm looking at the position. I look in the position they're in. I think they would have got a few more points with Declan Rice in that team. And that would have been enough because they could afford to lose to Man City and they could have still won the league. I just think they capitulated. And I think if he was in there, I think they would have got maybe another 5 or 6 points and maybe that would have mostly been enough to win. They were so far ahead.
So
but it doesn't mean they're going to be... Go on.
So we're going from last year where Arsenal fans were comparing Thomas Partey to like Casemiro and Rodri being the best DM in the midfield, best DM in the Premier League.
That's awesome.
So we're saying that's no longer true. No, but this is the truth. When we were talking about the best DMs in the league last year, Rice was never mentioned. We never mentioned Rice. We don't. That's not saying that he's not a good player, but I don't see how all of a sudden Rice is all of a sudden everyone's sort of savior. How he's going to just fix the whole ship. I don't see it. I think we're expecting too much from a player that has showed very little. I think he's done well at West Ham. He's done very well at West Ham. Like the next step at a big club with expectation is always a big fit. Is always a big change.
100%.
So I don't think
I
that
said
change is seamless.
100%. I said that on the last podcast. I said, like, we've not seen Declan Rice play even in the Champions League. He's not even played a Champions League game yet. We don't know when he plays at the highest level. When you play for an Arsenal, a Liverpool, a Man United, where every week you have to win. Like I said, West Ham fans might not like it, but win, lose, or draw, it really doesn't matter because West Ham are never going to go down. And they're never going to fight for a title. So they're always going to be that mid-table between 7th and 13th. They're always going to be there. So they're never going to go down. They're never going to touch the big boys. So win, lose, or draw, it really doesn't matter. You're playing with freedom. When you play for the big boys now, you have to perform every single week. 1, you won't play. Or 2, you're going to be criticized. So we don't know if he does that. But I think he has the mentality to do that. And I think if he went to an Arsenal, I don't think there'd be that massive pressure on him. There'll be pressure on him to actually perform and maybe put them onto the next level. But I think he could grow at Arsenal because it's a young team. Where I think if he goes to Man United or Man City, I just think the expectations are going to be way too high. and I don't even think he'll play at Man City.
Well, I was going to say, because we've touched on Rice, but I also want to touch on what you said about City. About if he goes City, he's going to be another player, and obviously the change in City winning the treble, and they might not like progress from that. Look what's happened as soon as won the treble. Gundogan's gone. He's breaking up the team straight away.
Yeah,
and the luck he has now is that every other team is still in transition. No one's really anywhere near him. So if he gets a couple of signings right, a couple of good signings, like a Rice, that can improve the squad, then and has got the mentality that he's got the mentality that Pep would appreciates because he's all about his football. Then yeah, I can't see there being that much of a drop off. So the Arsenal shout. Arsenal are going to have a lot of expectation on them next year. Not going to be as easy. There's going to be a lot because they're going to be the closest thing. They're deemed now as the closest thing in most people's eyes. I think everyone's expecting Liverpool to come back. But obviously, you've only made one signing yourself. There's still a bit more business you guys need to do. So the transition that everyone's in, I think that City will be able to maintain it. Well, they're not going to win the treble every year. I'm not saying that. But they will be there or thereabouts, and
100%
in every competition. But Rice in himself, like I don't hate Rice. I think he's a good player. This is not hate on Rice.
No, I think he's a good player as well. I like it. I love him at Liverpool.
I would like him for everything I've said. I'd like him at Man United. But for the money that they want, is it my money? No, it's not my money. But the money affects everything else, isn't it? We've seen it. We've seen it affect what it does with Maguire. Get Maguire, it's 8 mil. Every time you talk about Maguire, you talk about his price. Wan-Bissaka, it's not my money. You talk about Wan-Bissaka's price. At the end of the day, it's not your money. But when the player's getting judged, you always revert back to the price. And the only team that gets away with that is Chelsea, because it doesn't matter. They can spend 80 million on Kepa, 130 on Fernandes. Then it doesn't matter because they're 100 on Lukaku. They're never judged on their price for some reason. Chelsea are like the gods at that. So fair play.
You know why? Because Chelsea have always done it. So it doesn't matter.
Like
and they always do it. The other clubs, no clubs don't do it though. Clubs don't do it like Chelsea. Chelsea are mad.
So, but they get ignored. And I think going to Arsenal, yes, it is a young team, but then he's not a finished product. So you want to go somewhere where he's looking at players that can improve him by watching them. Like you look at Bellingham, I would say the same about Bellingham. What I'm saying about Rice, Bellingham's far from the finished article, but at least he's in an environment now where he's going to be learning from players like Kroos and Modric. Rice can't be looking to go into Arsenal, and where's his role model, so to speak? Then he's going to be the main guy at such a young age. There's got to be a happy balance there, and if he hasn't, and that's why going to Man City maybe and learning from a Rodri, De Bruyne, playing with them type of players, it sort of brings out the best in you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it could go the other way as well. I know you don't like the saying, but look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk came from Southampton. That's what I'm saying. Van Dijk came from Southampton. And look what happened. Van Dijk came from Southampton. He came from Southampton. So it can happen. Declan Rice could do that. He could catapult them and win the league. He could do it because Liverpool have shown it. They've shown.
Yeah, but Van Dijk, at least, okay. Van Dijk was older. Yeah,
he was 25. He was 25.
Van Dijk was a bit older than Declan. How old's Declan now?
Declan's 24. Yeah, so it's a year older.
A bit older, but he wasn't. Was Van Dijk coming in as the main focal point captain figure? I don't think he was.
Yeah, but of course he was. He was the guy who transformed. We were crap at the back.
Transformed you, yeah, but at the back, in terms of he showed leadership. In terms of his ability is what helped you guys. It's not. I wouldn't say it's his leadership is what helped you.
It was his leadership, his organisation from the back. We were a mess when he came in. The second he came in, he transformed the back line. So maybe
from his ability, though.
No, I'm saying that he did as well.
He didn't
He
come
was
into the
screaming
squad.
around and shouting. He was
And
you can see he was dominating his defense by the way his actions. You can see he was putting people in places. He's getting players up. He
yeah, but I'm
transformed that.
saying it wasn't expected that he comes in and be the leader in the changing room.
Yeah, but I don't think Declan Rice is to come to Arsenal and be the leader in the change room.
But where's the leader? It's Odegaard's the leader right now. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's a young
they want
squad.
him.
Xhaka's going, Partey's going. Where's the experience in the side?
They haven't got experience in the side. It's a young side. They haven't
So this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
This is what I'm saying.
But at least he's won a European trophy where you can bring that experience. None of these guys have played Champions League. They all coming together. So he's had experience in Europe. I think he showed leadership at West Ham. I think he's better than Partey. Oh, he's as good as Partey. I will take Declan Rice over Partey because I think Partey is a bit injury prone.
Yeah, and plus Partey is probably about 46, but forget all of that. And he's
Xhaka's
on charges.
Yeah, it's a madness. Declan Rice, Xhaka. I don't think there's that much between them, but Xhaka's just Xhaka. So I'll still take Rice over him. So he's maybe better than
But
what they got.
saying, the main thing you're saying about both of them players is there's not that much between them.
No, there isn't. That's in my opinion.
So you get rid of two to replace them with the one and potentially another one. Are they going to replace them with someone better? Who else they're looking at? I hear Lavia. I think everyone's talking about Lavia as well as obviously they was talking about Rice and Calzada, which would have been a great replacement.
Problems.
For the that would have been a problem, but they missed out on that. So potentially, where are we going? And I just don't see Rice fixing everyone's problems. So if he wants to, it's looking at it now and everything I've said, I'd say that probably Man City is the best place for him. If I'm honest, for personal progression, I would probably say if he believes in himself enough and he is as good as what everyone's telling me he is, then you go Man City.
Well, I'm quite opposite. I think he should go Arsenal. Like what you said, if he believes in his ability, where he looks at this Arsenal team and thinks, you know what, they came runners up really close. I'm going to be the guy that gets them over the line. This Arsenal team will be a year older. The experience will be better for them. So if they're in this situation again, they'll know what to do. Another year, Saka even better. Another year, Martinelli even better. Another year, Odegaard even better. You put Rice in there. Havertz coming in.
Rice and Havertz, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Havertz coming in.
I like Havertz.
Rice.
I like Havertz.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm not the biggest fan of Havertz. I think he's one of the most overrated footballers I've seen in Premier League history. That's how far I'll go. This was a guy who's supposed to be the new Ballack. I haven't seen the guy. I think he's got like 37 goals in about 119 appearances. This guy plays. I heard he plays as a number 10. He plays as number 9. The guy does nothing. The guy, reason why he's held in high regard and he's staying at, and no one's really killed him is that he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final. No one can take that away from him. If he didn't have that, I don't see the hype. I don't. Like I've been saying when I told you from 3 months in, Sancho's trash, and you lot all seen it now. Same thing. That's how I feel with Havertz. I don't see that. I think he's a poor player. I think he's overrated.
That's another example you got to leave as well, bro. I'm sick of this Sancho. I'm sick of these Man United trash compared that you. no, but I like Havertz stuff, but I don't see where he plays. And I definitely don't see where I don't see where he plays for Arsenal. And so you add that, and apparently I've heard that he could be playing part of the three, potentially next to Rice. And you're looking at what Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz. That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work for Rice. A lot of work for a lot of running for Rice.
So that's extra Rice carbohydrate portion. Trust me, because he's going to need it all in the tank.
I'm telling you. But yeah, guys, who do you think Rice should go to? I think he should go to Arsenal. Tobias think he should go Man City. Who do you think he should go to? Should he go to Man United? Should he go to Newcastle and catapult them? we'll see. Make sure you like.
To be
comment.
fair, he goes. Maybe you say I'm biased, but he goes Man United before he goes Arsenal. Personally, if I'm him, get to play next to Casemiro. You get to learn your trade.
He should be looking arrogant and saying, "Let me go Arsenal and be better than Casemiro." But we'll see. Make sure you like,
Go Man
comments.
United and be better than Casemiro, but yeah,
Yeah, it could be. And Casemiro could play further forward because he's got a goal in him. You never know. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We are Real Talk Football TV, and we are out.